Hey guys, got another little quick episode for you today. Going to talk about two bubble teams. Two teams, one from the Big 12, one from the SEC. Teams that I think have a possibility, if things shake out within their conference and nationally, they've got a pretty good chance of making the conference championship game and or the playoffs. So the first team coming out of the Big 12 is Oklahoma State. They don't recruit very well, 40th and 43rd respectively last couple of years. They finished 5th in the Big 12 the last 2 years, but we know Mike Gundy can produce the type of offense puts up a lot of points. Now, they don't play a lot of defense on that team and in the Big 12 really, but these guys got all 11 starters on defense coming back. Now, I just heard their linebacker tested positive for coronavirus. I'm not worried about that at all. We're still a long way from playing games, but with that kind of veteran leadership, I'm going to say that a lot this episode, veteran leadership, a lot of juniors and seniors who've been in the program a long time, that's a recipe for success, where every 3 to 4 years they can be extremely competitive. So they got Spencer Sanders coming back as QB. Chuba Hubbard, 2,100 rushing yards last season. A lot of people thought he'd go pro, come back for his senior season. They're returning Dylan Stoner, Tylan Wallace, albeit he's coming off a knee injury. Got those two guys come back in wide receiver. And I think they got another senior coming back at wide receiver. Those kind of skill guys, with Mike Gundy, they can put up points. And this year, they've got all their guys come back on defense. So I think it's a recipe for success in that conference. The schedule shakes out pretty well for them as well. Oregon State, Tulsa, Western Illinois. Then in October, at TCU, it'll be a tough game, but I think they can take them. Iowa State, at Kansas, those are wins. October 24th, at Oklahoma. That's probably going to be where they get their first loss. But like I said, this particular team has a lot of veteran leadership. Like, they don't recruit great, but they get a lot of guys out of JUCO, and they get a lot of transfers in. So again, these are a lot of guys on the team with a lot of games under their belt. This could be one of those years where they catch Oklahoma. If you're going to catch Oklahoma this year, I mean, can they have Heisman Trophy candidates every single year on that team? Eventually, they're going to have something not pan out for them. So this could be the year for Oklahoma State to beat Oklahoma. I'm not really sure it's going to happen, though. Then they got Texas Tech at home, then at Baylor November 7th. That'd be a tough game. Home against West Virginia, at Kansas State, and then home last game of the season against Texas. The two games are going to make this season for them are home against Texas and at Baylor. I think they can win both, but I wouldn't be shocked if they slipped up at least one of those games and lost. That's still a possible 10-2, maybe even 11-1 season. That shakes out the way I think it can in the conference, and nationally they could be going to the Big 12 Conference Championship game, and who knows what after that. Next team out of the SEC is Texas A&M. Talked about them a little bit in episode 0. Jimbo Fisher is a great coach. They got a 4-year starter in Kellen Mond coming back. They got a lot of guys on offense come back and on the skill positions. Like Spillers come back at running back. 4 offensive linemen. Then they lost their superstar defensive tackle, but they got a lot of guys come back on defense. Jimbo Fisher recruits very well. 6th nationally the last 2 seasons and 4th in the SEC the last 2 seasons. Problem with being 4th in the SEC is your competition is 1, 2, and 3 ahead of you. But the schedule, just like Oklahoma State, shakes out this year for them. They lose Georgia. They lose Clemson. So, again, said it before, a lot of senior leadership, a lot of veteran leadership, juniors and seniors, guys who've been in that program a while. Another recipe for a great season for them. You never know how it shakes out, but look at the schedule. Abilene Christian, North Texas, and Colorado. 3 wins right off the gate. This is why the rest of the nation makes fun of the SEC for having cupcakes. But another cupcake within the conference is Arkansas. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. Arkansas is going to get better. Sam Pittman's a legit coach. But then you got at Mississippi State. I think it's going to take Mike Leach a couple of years to actually build anything there. So that's a win. Fresno State. Then October 17th at Auburn. That's going to be a tough game. But Auburn's losing so much of that elite talent on the defensive line. I think this is the year you're going to get Auburn. Then at South Carolina, home versus Mississippi, and then Vanderbilt. Then the last 2 games of the season, at Alabama, and I think it's at LSU. No, it's home against LSU, but at Alabama and at Alabama and home versus LSU to finish the season. Those are must-win games. You got to win at least one of those games. Alabama's schedule is a lot tougher this year. LSU, coming off a national championship, has lost so many guys to the NFL. So if you're going to catch them, this is going to be the year. So things shake out where they could be 10-2, 11-1, and again, could possibly go to the conference championship game, and who knows what happens after that. So 2 teams I think could possibly make some noise. They've got the recipe for it this year to make some noise and see what happens. If you like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, or don't if you think I suck. Whatever, it's cool. Anyway, we'll see you later this afternoon with another video. 2 more bubble teams coming later for you today. All right, take care, guys.